My name is Joe. These are just opinions. I am Joepinionated. Today, I'm going through the 25 best Christmas albums that I own. 25 best Christmas records that are in constant rotation at my house around Christmas time. First up, I'm going with the Beach Boys Christmas album. What's it called? It's called the Beach Boys Christmas album. I don't have like an old copy of it. Mine's sort of like this original, feels like 180 gram pressing. Little Saint Nick. I mean, you hear it on the radio all the time. Beach Boys, 60s and 70s, music legends. I kind of like the church standards. We Three Kings is probably a standout for me on that album. The Beach Boys Christmas album. That's 1 out of 25. Second one I'm going with is called Switched On Santa. The merriest Moog synthesizer plays Christmas favorites. These Switched On records are incredible. Cy Man is the artist's name that's running the Moog synthesizer. I bought this one because of the cover at a thrift store. That's one thing about, this is basically your thrift store Christmas album shopping list. Christmas albums are plentiful at thrift stores, secondhand shops, that sort of thing. And that's where I got this one for, I want to say 99 cents, of course. And I'd buy 10 copies of it and give it to all my best friends. It's one of my very favorite Christmas albums. Next up, I'm going with the new Grinch soundtrack. Dr. Seuss the Grinch. The movie means a bit to me because it's the first movie I took my daughter to see in a theater. This one has the Tyler the Creator's version of Mr. Grinch. I thought this was a good movie. I thought it was really entertaining, funny. You've got Run DMC on here. Well, you got Run DMC on here twice with Christmas in Hollis and Christmas Is. But you also get like Brian Setzer Orchestra, The Supremes, Danny Elfman, and Nat King Cole. So you get some classics on there. The new Grinch soundtrack. Anne Murray, Christmas. This is kind of, she's a Canadian icon, legend. And so this is sort of like an old Canadian Christmas standard. Anne Murray, I'm sure, is big in the States too. I didn't grow up with this one. This one goes out to my wife and to Mikey and all those guys. They all grew up with Anne Murray Christmas. And that's why I bought a copy of it. It's great. It's a great Christmas album. Next up, I'm going with the Chipmunks Christmas. Nothing cooler than Alvin, Simon, and Theodore when I was, about 5 years old. It was a pretty popular TV show at that time. And obviously, they've been around for a long time. This album, I think, is, the 60s? This album here is from 1974. And the best song on it is the Chipmunks song, Christmas, Christmas. Next album for my 25 greatest Christmas albums that I own. I'm going with Nat King Cole's The Magic of Christmas with Children, Nat King Cole. And this is one of the Christmas standards. Nat King Cole, one of the originals. You've seen it and you've heard him in pretty much every Christmas movie you've ever watched. Obviously, one of the greatest voices of all time, Nat King Cole. He's one of those old, almost crooner kind of guys. A lot of them laid down the original Christmas records in the 50s. They still live on strong to this day, Nat King Cole. Here's another one, kind of similar ilk, White Christmas from Bing Crosby. Once again, one of these original crooner guys. And this on Decca Records, soundtrack obviously to the movie White Christmas. And White Christmas, one of the greatest Christmas songs, period, of all time. Bing Crosby, a Christmas legend. His versions of many Christmas songs are considered the originals or the standards. And this one is his original, obviously White Christmas, Bing Crosby. When you're at the thrift store looking at Christmas albums, I go with the Irish Rovers Christmas. It Was a Night Like This. The whole album I'm not really super crazy about, but I do need to listen to Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer every single Christmas. We had this record when I was a little guy. I thought it was so clever. That's how young I was when I first heard the song. But the Irish Rovers, lots of fun. I think this album's from 1982. Nana Muscuri Christmas album. Christmas with Nana Muscuri. My mom and sister growing up absolutely loved this. And Christmas is a very sentimental thing. I'm a sentimental person, always looking for traditions, that sort of thing. Honestly, when I was a kid, I probably couldn't stand this album. I really didn't want to listen to this beautiful stuff. But the older I get, it's certainly growing on me, and it must be spun at least once over in the month of December. Her version of Old Toy Trains is my second favorite version of that. And Petite Papa Noel, probably my favorite song on the album. The whole album's great. Up next, Christmas with Chet Atkins. This is just Chet showing the world how to be an incredible guitar player and picking his way through many Christmas classics. Chet Atkins, one of the greatest guitar players of all time and inventor of the Nashville sound. Okay, record number 11. We go with Bob and Doug McKenzie's album, Great White North. This features the 12 Days of Christmas with Bob and Doug McKenzie, hilarious comedy duo from SCTV. And if you watch this channel a lot, I'm always wearing the Dixon flannels, and I've got the Bob and Doug McKenzie Dixon flannels in many episodes. A couple legends. Next up, 11th album that you should grab if you see it. Scrooged, soundtrack to the Scrooged from Bill Murray, Annie Lennox, and Al Green. Put a Little Love in Your Heart. We Three Kings of Miles Davis. The Christmas Song, Natalie Cole, so that's Nat King Cole's daughter. And Christmas Must Be Tonight. Not my favorite version of the song, but it is by Robbie Robertson from the band who wrote the song. I prefer the one on Islands. But Scrooge, incredible Christmas soundtrack. Right, number 12 or 13 or whatever we're on. Home Alone soundtrack. So I've got a couple here. This is like a bigger one, big double disc thing, 2 records. And then this is the straight up soundtrack. Home Alone, one of the greatest Christmas movies. Check out my channel. I've got the Christmas movie marathon currently starting December 1st for 2024. Home Alone featured all over the Christmas movie marathon in 2023 on this channel as well. If you're starting one of those, check those out. Either way, you need the Home Alone soundtrack in your Christmas album collection. Next up, A Very Special Christmas. I think this benefits the Special Olympics. This album here is incredible, full of huge songs. Christmas in Hollis is what I usually think of. But it has the Pointer Sisters, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the Eurythmics, Winter Wonderland, Bruce Springsteen, Merry Christmas Baby, the Pretenders, John Cougar Mellencamp, Sting. This thing's packed full of bangers. Very Special Christmas, very popular Christmas record. You definitely need it. Next one you need in your collection is Burl Ives or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This one gets played a lot around here. Kids, obviously, we all love Rudolph, the Rankin and Bass classic. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, got to have it in your collection. Charlie Brown Christmas. I didn't actually grow up watching this one. I was never got excited that Charlie Brown Christmas is on. I thought it was kind of boring when I was a kid. The first time I remember actually watching it, I think I was in grade 12 in my multi-purpose room at lunchtime. And it was the first time that I sat through the whole thing. Charlie Brown Christmas is a great record, great jazz suite for one of the all-time classic Christmas cartoons, Charlie Brown Christmas. And that's the Vince Guaraldi trio. Next up, I got Dolly and Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers Christmas. It's called Once Upon a Christmas. Their versions of Sleigh Ride, White Christmas are legendary. We also have the newer Dolly Parton. I think we have a couple newer ones. Christmas on the Square, I really quite like. Dolly's just such a good person, and I actually think about Christmas with her a lot because she had told a story about how broke her family was once on a talk show I was watching when I was a kid, saying that their father would buy their mother a ring, and then all the kids, their present was to go and try and find it. Her father would hide it, and it was so much fun for the kids. Anyways, she's an absolute beauty. Next up, I got Wynton Marsalis Christmas album. So this is a jazz Christmas album. I quite like it, and I quite like Wynton Marsalis. I love him in the Ken Burns jazz documentary. Such an incredible educator. I know some people can't stand Wynton Marsalis. That's like totally new to me. I thought he was awesome, but in a Discord community I'm in, they just tear this guy to shreds. I don't know why. Anyways, Christmas, Wynton Marsalis Christmas record I think is a great one, and you can usually find it for fairly cheap, and if you do, pick it up. Last year I finally found this one out in the wild, Christmas with the California Raisins, thanks to the Clark family. They used to have this one playing at Christmas time all the time. And I quite like it. Sort of funky. California Raisins was a big thing near the end of the 80s. And nothing cooler than the California Raisins and the Christmas album. Like I said, close friends of mine had it growing up. And so this will always make me think of those guys. Next up, I've got the Muppets Christmas Carol soundtrack. This one will always make me think of my daughter. She was in the play, and anyways, we love the Muppets Christmas Carol. Excellent movie, great soundtrack, lots of originals on here as well. We've got Ray Charles, The Spirit of Christmas. This one will forever remind me of Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo, written by John Hughes. When he's in the attic and he's watching those videos and they put on, is it The Spirit of Christmas? Is that the song? And the song The Spirit of Christmas is playing in the background. And as a child, like, that was such a moment for me, such a sentimental kid, watching Christmas Vacation constantly. And yeah, this song, amazing. That song is the reason I bought this album, and it's a great record. Spirit of Christmas from a legend, Ray Charles. Next up, I got Perry Como. What's it called? Merry Christmas Music. For me as a kid, this is probably my number one Christmas album. This is just what I grew up with. And I forget. I think my mom and I were at London Drugs, and she had gotten a CD player, bought this CD, and that was, we didn't have a lot of Christmas CDs back then. We had some tapes. This is kind of like when we were moving over to CD around that time, start of the 90s, early 90s. So for me growing up, I listened to this more than any other Christmas album. Yeah, for a period of time anyways. And so, this one takes me back. Perry Como. Perry Como is another one of those, early Bing Crosby crooner types. Getting into legendary territory now. We got Boney M. Boney M. Christmas album. A few years ago, Boney M. was touring close by in Vancouver. And I think it was just the one lady that's left in the group from the originals. And then I started doing some research. I didn't realize the same person that wrote the music for Milli Vanilli also did Boney M. Like, this guy, he doesn't actually sing. It's the same gig, the same bit as Milli Vanilli. It's the same guy writing the tunes. And this guy's actually like a dancer from Aruba. So, hate to blow it up for you, Daddy Cool is not a singer. I love Boney M. And that was a shock to me. I did not know that. And then I watched that Milli Vanilli documentary as well, where they mentioned it in there too. Boney M. Hell of a Christmas record. This guy, he passed away last year, right around, I think he passed away the day after I watched the Milli Vanilli documentary. But the guy that wrote all these songs. Incredible talent. A fraud, maybe? Yeah. Up next, I got the Judds Christmas album. I'm sure these all have names too, but I'm just going to say the Judds Christmas album. This is a really pretty one. Takes me back. Love the Judds as a kid, for sure. Got lots of Judds around our house. And, great Christmas record. You will see this one often out in the wild for nice and cheap. And if you do, buy it. Quality. And the last one in my top 25 Christmas albums that I own, I'm going with Raffi's Christmas. I think that this is probably my favorite Christmas record nowadays and has been for a while. So thanks to my buddy Luke, who gave me this copy. Also, buy it. Sometimes this one gets really expensive. Raffi actually lives a stone's throw away. I believe he lives on Salt Spring Island, and I can see that from my house. Yeah, how great. This one takes me back to kindergarten. I remember being in my kindergarten class out in Edmonton, Alberta. And the teacher must have had a copy of this. And I went to a Catholic school too, so for them to be playing all the Santa music was kind of nuts if you think about it. Up on the rooftop, that's like, to me, that's a Raffi standard. Must Be Santa, Old Toy Trains. This is number one for me, Christmas album. We usually play this one when we get our Christmas tree on the way home, coming home back from a Christmas tree farm. Raffi's Christmas. If you don't have it, this is the one to get. So there it is. There's 25 Christmas albums that I own that I think you should check out. There's obviously millions of them out there. So remember again to check out the Christmas Movie Marathon on this channel as well. And I hope it gave you some good ideas for some Christmas tunes to be spinning this holiday season 2024. Sorry, I'm a little low on facts, high on opinions. Live and let live. Merry Christmas to you all. We out.
cigarettes with the tips of our fingers. But it gets colder, we can go back into something. Oh, I got my